every day, every day, every day, every day. Gonna let my little light shine. The Orphan Train. I'm gonna tell you all about it. But first, I'm gonna tell you someone's story. Let me sing you a song of Henrietta. Henrietta, whose little girl are you? Left New York on an orphan train, took you to the Nebraska plain. Henrietta, whose little girl are you? I'm going to tell you Henrietta's story, and it's a true story. Once upon a time, in about 1895 or 1896, a young German woman married her true love. It's okay, Leslie. It's okay, Elmer. Mama will come back. Sometime. She always does. But Toots is here, and Toots is going to take care of you, okay? So don't worry. Toots is here, and Toots is going to take care of you. Our father was many years older than our mother. This caused many arguments, and eventually he was driven off, and our mother either could not or would not provide food and shelter for us. There were 5 of us. There were 5 of us. I was the oldest, then Pearl, then twin boys, Leslie and Wesley, and then Elma, the baby. Other charities began to follow suit, and orphanages began to be built. Problem solved? Not when you've got 30,000 kids to take care of. These were pioneer social workers trying their best, but always faced with this overwhelming problem that wouldn't go away. Charles Loring Brace wasn't sure an orphanage was the best solution to the problem. It got kids off the street, but did it guarantee those kids a future? He wasn't sure that it did. So what else could they do? What other solutions were there to this problem? What else? What next? When I first started doing this program, I didn't think the children went by freight train. But this picture from the Kansas State Historical Society sure does look like a freight train. Turns out now it is a fact. Many children did go by boxcar, but many more went by coach. That meant they had to sit up all night, but the train trip itself, it wasn't so bad. It was Charles Loring Brace's idea again. He thought up the orphan train. He felt there could be nothing better for these kids who'd never known anything but the dirt and grime and concrete of the city than to experience the fresh air and the wide open spaces of the Midwest farm. And we never knew if we were going to be in the West for 1 week or 6 months. It all depended on how many children we had to place, how many children previously placed we had to check up on, how prepared a community was for our arrival, all sorts of things. Besides, though the trains did stop along the railway line, we often had to go into rural areas to place the children. Well, there were no automobiles back then. That meant a trip by horse and buggy, with a driver whose vocabulary consisted of 7 words. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, and I don't know. When I was in 9th grade at Powell School, my father got blood poisoning from a hedge thorn in his hand, and he had to go to the Veterans Hospital in Lincoln, Nebraska, and he was there for quite some time, and my mother insisted I could do all the work on the farm. It was time to husk corn, and we did it by hand. And I didn't see how I was going to get it all done before the snow began to fly. I quit school to keep up that farm. When they took me away from the elderly couple, they took me to the home of the other couple that wanted me. Ted and Natty Jensen. Ted Jensen repaired wagons for a living. They had 2 little boys, but they wanted a little girl. I remember that first day, the little boys showed me all through the house, took me out into the yard, introduced me to the animals. New shoes were made for me right away, and new clothes followed soon after that. Orphan Train riders ask that you remember them. There are a few still living, but they are all senior citizens. If we don't know their stories, soon they won't be here to tell them. Orphan Train riders ask that you remember them, so that this big piece of United States history is not overlooked or dismissed or forgotten.